Welcome back to Razmavsar TV. Hi, Bede. How are you?
I'm good. How are things over there?
It's very cold, still cold. Germany is always cold, right?
Oh, well, we could do with a bit of cold here. Uh, it's during the day, it's been 37, 38 degrees,
Okay.
and about 60% humidity,
Wow.
which is a bit hard to take. The morning was nice, but as the afternoon wore on, I was going to cut some grass and do all kinds of activities. And
Yeah,
then I realized it was so hot outside, I just get heat stroke and collapse. So I had to stop.
unbelievable. We are going to go ahead with our Ukrainian museum and
Excellent.
what we where we stopped. Remember, Bede, we stopped here last time.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yes. So this one really caught my attention when I was there because it has a long shaft and a long chain, strong chain with rings, strong rings. And then you see that bead, that mace hat. Okay, look, it lost some of its spikes, right? But two are
It's got
remaining.
enough.
I think these two are enough, exactly.
Yeah, it probably had six when it was originally
Yes,
going.
yes.
Yeah, you honestly, it's very hard to say whether this is more dangerous to your friends than it is to your enemies,
Yeah,
because these things are
exactly.
very hard to control. I
Just
had a
imagine,
friend.
beat the momentum it takes. And once
Oh
it
yeah,
hits, oh God.
yeah. But the other thing is, how do you control it? Once you start getting it going, it doesn't want to stop. I mean, when you've got a big two-handed sword, you've got some type of control.
Yeah,
But with this, once it's moving, you've got to kind of make it move somewhere else in the same kind of curve. I think I had a friend once who was a martial arts teacher, Chinese martial arts, and he offered to teach me the two section staff, which is a flail. It's very similar to the European ones, except without the spikes. And I said, why that? Why not the three section staff? And he said, well, unless you are a really superior master, the three section staff is more likely to kill you than it is to kill your enemies. And something like this really is scary.
yeah.
Because once you get it moving, how do you stop it? Unless you hit the guy, what's going to happen if you miss or if he moves? You're still going around like that. You can bring it back round, but it's
I mean, it is
ah,
like, I mean, it's easier now as a martial arts instructor myself, in the past when we did this nunchakos and it takes some time to control the nunchako, especially, I mean, if it comes down and it comes up here, that's the more difficult one. Other way around is easier because you control it over there and here, these kind of things. And I mean, this is easier because you have as you said, a wooden part. This one, I can only imagine the way you can control it is, as you said, you hit the guy, or if it turns and turns and turns, beat, the only way you can hold it is, I don't know, if it hits something or hits your own shield to stop it somehow. But
oh yeah. I
besides,
think
yeah,
when the chain is that long, I'm assuming the handle is maybe 1.5 meters long,
yes,
something
it
like
is.
that.
It is.
So you've got if the chain is as long as the handle, you're perpetually in danger. So hopefully the chain is shorter than the handle, so that where you're holding it is not where that thing can hit. But even so, once you get it moving, and I assume you have to do it by circular motion,
Yes, that's right.
um, everybody on that side of you, on your side, has to move away, and maybe they have to move half as far on the other side.
Yes.
Now, if it hits, it's going to do a lot of damage because you can get a lot of velocity swinging something around on a pole and a chain. But if it misses and you've got to keep doing that, you're totally exposed. If the guy has a spear or a sword, he'll kill you
He will tell you. Yeah.
unless you're standing behind some kind of pavice or something.
Yeah. He will tell
But I don't know. It's the regular flail with the short piece and the long piece. I think is much more controllable than this is. And I actually wonder whether the chain has been lengthened for effect in the 19th century to make it look more dangerous. Because if that was a short chain, if that was a chain about that long,
That you can
that
control.
would be really dangerous to your enemy.
Yes, you can control.
Um,
Yes.
but who knows?
B, take a look at
Oh,
this
look at
one,
this.
the flail.
Yeah, that's a much more reasonable weapon.
Yes. And you see that bit here? It is reinforced by a steel plate on both sides. You see that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
massive. See, that's really strong. You can't block it and cut it or anything because it'll
Yes.
just smash your weapon. And that adds weight to the short section, which may weigh almost as much as the long section.
Yes.
So, I mean, a seriously dangerous weapon
Yes.
in the hands. And bear in mind, these first were used by farmers um, who used them for threshing grain, and they just added a bit of extra metal to make them into a weapon.
Yes.
That seriously, imagine a man who's spent, 10 or 20 years using this to bash wheat.
Yeah.
When he comes about, he's going to hit a man. It's going to be bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hmm.
this is the thing we were talking about, I think, sometime in the past about the fact that when archers ran out of arrows, they often picked up clubs and things like that because these guys were really, really strong.
Yes.
Farmers were really, really strong
Yes.
because
Absolutely.
everything was done by hand.
Yes.
Big machines were unknown. So therefore, you've got to be physically really strong. And I
Yes.
think that the effect of these in the hands of,
Yes.
hefty
B, do
people.
you remember we talked about Braunfels? There was a museum fortification collection. They had lots of all these halberds, remember? And now we have some of them here, similar ones, I mean.
Yeah, that there. Well, do you notice that the axe side of the halberd, it's not curved, it's an angle, it's angular.
Angle. Absolutely.
That's quite unique. It almost looks like a dragon's mouth or something, doesn't it? It's
It
got a
does.
kind of cartoonish element to it.
It
Look
does.
how long the spike is too.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
That's much longer than the average halberd.
Yes, much longer.
That would be very dangerous against somebody. Well, somebody in mail would be in serious problems.
It's serious problem.
Somebody in just not metal armor would be in real trouble.
Yeah.
Uh, and a skilled person might be able to get that in between the weaknesses in
Absolutely.
plate armor. So
Absolutely.
you'd just be really worried about somebody with one of those. The
Absolutely.
big glaive in the middle,
Yeah, the glaive is nice. Very
that
nice.
that looks so dangerous.
It does.
I, I mean, you could imagine somebody swinging that with skill and just lopping off bits and pieces of their enemies. Uh,
It does.
Now, again, it's probably strong enough for stabbing against armor,
Yeah.
but its real purpose is to cut down people in limited amounts of armor,
Yes.
and it would
Yes.
do a terrible job.
Yes. Pete, look at this one. And let me see if I have. Oh yeah, I have this one,
Oh,
right?
right.
Okay, you see the shaft, and now here you go.
Shafts, yeah.
Pete, this
Wow.
was both of them were fascinating. They have spikes,
Yes.
and now look at the blades.
Yeah, it's like they just picked whatever blade they had handy
Yeah.
and added it onto the end. And both of those blades would be really effective.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
thing is, of course, the head of this is so heavy. I'm assuming that the kind of rounded part is wood with metal reinforcement.
Yes. It's wood with
Even
metal
so, that's going
reinforcement.
to be very heavy. It's going to drag the tip down. So you probably hold it back and block with the base of the shaft and then just bring it down. But
Look.
of course, the spear blade, the repurposed sword blade, you can hold off cavalry charging or whatever just by poking at people.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And if you're lucky, you might just go through their armor. The spikes are really big,
Big. Yeah.
so they're meant to penetrate quite
Yes.
deeply. Whether if you hit somebody in armor with that and it just penetrates a little bit and then use it to pull them over,
Yes.
I don't know.
Very unique weapons, right? With these spikes.
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
unique. Very unique.
very much a late 14th, 15th, early 16th century style of weaponry. We think of people like the Hussites who were really good at these improvised weapons,
Yes.
but they were everywhere, and
Yes.
yeah, really amazing.
And now Indian axes and also
Oh,
other
yeah.
items.
Well, the axes are, well, the top ones look like Tabazin type
Yeah.
horseman's axes. The bottom ones, or the middle ones, and the one on the bottom right,
Mm.
the blades are quite big, and these are quite. This is the basic tabar that you see in Iran as well, and
Yeah.
in Mamluk Egypt, and
Yes.
in and Ottoman Turkey. So it was a very popular design.
Yes.
More designed, I think, for crowd control, when crowd control meant that you eliminated everybody in the front line of the crowd and everybody else felt controlled and ran away. But down the bottom, we have a nice dial, nice, probably that at that size, maybe rhino hide shield.
Yes. Right.
Then we've got uh, a tulwar with a Ferengi type hilt.
Hmm.
Uh, Not that common, but it's known. Then what appears to be a straight tulwar.
Yeah.
Then some kind of uh, booge, not booge. What's the other one? The Nepali one that they use for sacrificing bulls, with what
Cora.
appears to be
Cora.
Kora. Yeah,
Cora.
with what appears to be a Kanja style hilt.
Yes.
That pistol grip type.
Yes.
Very nice one. Then
Yeah.
we've got some kind of tribal axe with the broad double concave blade and another tulwar.
Yeah.
A good selection. I mean, it's very strong on the axes.
Yes. Look at these. Oh, now we
Oh
can
yeah,
look at
that's
it
much.
better. Look at the
Yeah, yeah, much
serrated
clearer.
blade.
Oh, so that's why. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and weirdly, it's more serrated. Oh, is that so? um, if I'm reading this correctly, there are serrations at the base, or the fort, or whatever you want to
Yes.
call it,
That's right.
of the blade on the outside of the curve. Then you've got a smooth part, which I assume is sharpened edge. Then you've
Yes.
got another set of serrations towards the
Yes.
tip. And then the whole of the back, or part of the back, not including the.
Just to mark
Oh, yeah.
something, which is very interesting for our readers, possibly. I have
Mhm.
handled in museums also one of the Safavid kings, a beautiful flamberge blade made of crucible steel. We also in Al Qarashi collection we have
Mhm.
Persian blades. Persian blades have flamberge. So far, again, I need to be careful because maybe I say something next week, something oh, I'm going to meet and see that.
Yeah,
But
well, that
so
that's
far,
just,
I have not
yeah,
seen or handled a Persian blade like this.
with
Like
fine serrations.
yes, like let's say like a saw. So far, I have not
Or a
handled a
or a bread
Persian.
knife.
Yeah, no, of course, no, no. I'm talking about fighting ones, right?
Yeah, yeah. The difference is the bread knife is serrated on one side of the blade and
Yes,
flat on the other,
yes,
whereas the serrations are on
yes.
carved into both sides of the blade.
So
Um,
because
yeah,
Indian blades have flamberge and also have these serrated ones, just to make this difference, right?
well, yeah. There are a lot of craftsmen working in India. There was a lot of individuality in different regions as well,
Yes,
and there was a market for interesting weapons, because the warrior class, if you want to call it that, um, was numerically huge.
yes,
I mean, we're not talking about like a European army that may be 200,000 strong in the 1700s, 1800s,
yes,
where everything is issued by the state and
yes,
everything is
yes,
not uniform, because it depends on
yes,
who they bought the guns off and whatever, but it's pretty uniform. Whereas in India, you could raise 50,000 or 100,000 men and everybody brings along their own stuff. And
yes,
their weapons are unique to the area they come from.
yes,
So you see a lot of variation.
yes,
And to some extent, it probably was used to identify which group you belong to. Oh, I
yes,
use this kind of tool. Oh, therefore you're from such and such.
yes, yes, absolutely. So let us move on. And yeah, and we have here Zagnur, right?
Oh yeah.
with a
I've
with a
only
more
handled a cup.
yeah,
Yeah. Go on.
with a wider blade because Persian Zagnul have like these hammer axes. They are
Yeah.
different, right? War hammers, if you want to call it that way.
Yeah. I have to agree. The ones from India tend to have more varied blade shapes.
Yes,
Often
Yeah.
the blade looks kind of like a compact plunger.
Yes,
Uh,
it does. It
so
really
I mean,
does.
that
Yeah.
they're quite serious about how they're going to use them.
Yeah.
Um, I've seen one from India
Mm,
years ago in
yeah.
a private collection here, and it was at a level. It was artistic. I mean, it was such
Mm,
a bizarre shape and
yeah.
so clearly intended to do one thing
Yeah.
that it transcended just being a tool or
Yeah.
a weapon
Yeah.
and turned into something that was kind of like, it was really unusual. Very nice piece.
Yeah.
Um, Such skilled workmanship. I mean, look at the bottom of the shaft where it swells out. So when you hit someone, it doesn't slide up out of your hand. It's just so practical.
Unbelievable. Really nice. Yeah. I can see some other pictures. Same items.
Yeah, but it's good because we can see close-ups. Now, the hilt on the top sword is much more like you'd see on a Ferengi. I mean, I've got one laying over against the
Yeah,
wall there with this type of
that's
hilt.
right.
This is a good quality one. Look at the
Yes.
fluting in the pommel and
Yes.
whatever. But that long extension of the tang covering the tang, because the one I've got anyway, the tang goes all the way to the end of it. You can use it two-handed,
200.
but you can also use that bit as a block.
Yeah.
So if a blade comes in there, it hits that, it won't slide off because of the curve.
Yes.
So that's really quite interesting.
Very nice.
I was right about that being like a Kanja hilt,
Yeah.
by which I'm talking about in India, not in Iran, where a hunter is a different thing.
Yes.
But these are these pistol grip kind of
Yes.
daggers. Sometimes they're a single curve, sometimes they're two curves.
Yes.
And often the ones that we see are made out of jade or rock
Yes.
crystal or whatever. But they did make them out of steel and sometimes out of woods.
Yes.
Um, and to be honest, they feel good in the hand.
Yes.
I the only time I've seen them on swords
Yes.
is in the Imperial Palace in Beijing and the Topkapi Palace. Both have fully mounted swords with one of these in jade mounted as the actual hilt part with a separate crossguard. So everybody liked this shape. It was very popular. And as far as I can tell, and I could be wrong, but as far as I can tell, it was an Indian invention.
Yes.
But unlike the
I've
kata,
seen it
which
only
didn't,
on Indian weapons. Right. That's right.
yeah,
That's true.
but unlike the kata, which stayed in India pretty much, these hilts went everywhere because everybody liked them.
I just
Whether it
need
they
to
the
say
damage,
something. I mean,
yeah,
guys, it is not that I agree or disagree, has nothing to do with that. But I have numerous mentions in Safavid period manuals referring to Indian weapons, to Mughal India or the Hindus, as they call it, and they always talk about the very weird type of dagger, and they call it also Qatar, and they said this
yeah.
is a really weird dagger, so they call it weird. It's so funny that you
Well,
see,
I mean,
you know,
it's out in the rest of the world. Nobody ever thought of having a dagger where the handle was at right angles to the blade.
yeah, yes,
And the weird thing is, I mean, we all talk about punch daggers, which is only partially right. It's
partially,
very
yes,
good for cutting,
as well.
which is why they made pata, the long sword.
Exactly.
It's because you don't twist, you don't have to twist your wrist, you just bring it down.
Yes,
And in a dagger, if you're blocking, say you've got a dagger in your left hand and a sword in your right hand, if the dagger has these long
yes,
bars down your forearm and you're holding it across like that, and you've got this enormous strength because your whole arm from the elbow or from the shoulder is behind that blade, you don't have to turn it or anything. It's just going to hit very hard. Remarkable. That axe, these they're often listed as tribal because different tribal groups in India favored interesting shaped axe blades. And since they were used as mercenaries in a lot of Indian armies, these things got um, exposed to lots of different cultures. So people saw them far and wide.
Yes.
They're essentially designed to fight against people not wearing armor, because even mail probably would be good enough to stop that. They're not terribly heavy weapons. The ones I've seen haven't been. There may be heavy ones, but they're quite startling. If you have one of these on your wall, people ask you what it is and where does it come from, and what it's got a strong aesthetic presence.
Yes.
Wow. So we've got an anchus at the top
Yes.
for driving your elephant.
Yeah.
Then we've got a Taba style axe with, instead of a hammer on the back, it's got an elephant with its trunk raised.
Right.
And it's got a pierced top, which may be the wheel of life, and then a spear blade. I mean, it's a fully equipped thing, but more artistic than practical,
Artistic.
I think.
Yes. Very nice one.
Mm.
Very nice.
So they do some beautiful work.
Yes, absolutely. Now let's move to Africa.
Yeah.
Land of spears, different types of spears.
They have so many different types of spears.
Yeah.
And they're all for particular ways of fighting. They're not random. They didn't just say, I'll just make one this shape. Everybody making spears had a vision of how they were going to be used, because this is their local tradition.
Yeah.
And you see on the extreme left is a small bladed one with, if I'm guessing right, a series of little barbs down the shaft.
It is. Let me see if I have
then
a
the next
close-up.
one, it would be, anybody would be happy with that
no,
one,
I
because you
don't.
could
Sorry.
really fight. Oh,
Yeah.
they've got carried away.
Yes.
So
Sorry.
the next one on the left, that long, slightly tapering blade, you could stab with it, you could cut with it, a very effective shape. The one in the middle looks as though it was going to be used in hand-to-hand fighting,
Yeah.
and the big blade was to just do as much damage as possible. The next one is vaguely Maasai, in the sense that it's got a metal handle in the middle, two pieces of wood joining at one end the spear blade and the other probably a long spike.
Mm. Yeah.
Very interesting designs.
Yeah.
And clearly very effective. Then we've got a very nice leather shield. I'm guessing it's hippo or something like that.
Yes. Hippo. Most of
Because
them are made
the
of
leather
hippo.
from these animals is remarkably tough.
Yeah.
Fearsome when you think about it.
Yeah.
How good it was at defending you.
And beautiful daggers there, right?
Yeah, look at that. See, there's a whole artistic language in the shapes of the pommels, and the grips are just right for, how they wanted to use them.
Really magnificent.
Yeah, this is and it's getting towards high art as well. I mean, in Iran or India or Turkey, they may inlay jade with jewels in that, and that's beautiful. But this may be more simple materials, but the design level is very high.
Very high. Very high.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Very beautiful.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that collect African daggers and bits and pieces like that, not at all interested in weapons.
Yes.
They're just collecting them because they're beautiful.
Yes.
And
yes, that's right. Like
really
the African masks,
I mean,
right?
Yeah. Well, but I can understand people collecting Persian or Turkish or Indian weapons, Chinese weapons. It's just, it's really good shape. It's really beautiful workmanship. And not even thinking that it's, meant for hitting people with or stabbing people.
Absolutely. I fully agree.
And I've got no problem with those people. They're having a good time. What the hell? But these are so interesting, because these are people that have, there's long histories in Africa. I mean, we don't have written histories for a lot of it, but the people have oral histories. They are strongly connected sometimes to place. I mean, other groups moved around more. But the thing to remember is that there's probably somebody who knows exactly what that symbolism is for. But they may not have been interviewed by an anthropologist who wrote it all down, so we don't know what it is.
Yes.
But this is all like I'm going to use the word coded. I know it may sound wrong, but
And they
each
still beat, okay, you know, many people call it tourist items. I hesitate to call it because if you go to Africa, there are still many smiths in tribes who make weapons for not for fighting, but they still do that, right? So
they're just keeping a tradition alive.
yes,
It's like I mean, it's like Japanese making high quality armors in the
y-
18th and 19th century when no one was going to use them,
yes,
but they still were really high quality.
yes,
And I think in Africa, well, a lot of things had other practical purposes,
yeah,
but I mean, like an axe is an axe. It's got a practical purpose.
absolutely.
A sword, on the other hand, only has one purpose, which is fighting. And there's a really beautiful looking sword there.
Very nice.
And you've got to just, this is well designed, it's well thought out.
Nice.
And, maybe they didn't have the best steel,
Yes,
but still, it was good enough to make a fairly nice sword.
yes. Pete, look at this
Here we are,
one. Look at the spear. Has spikes here. You see that?
going in both directions.
Yes, both directions.
It's hard to push it in too far and hard to pull it out once it's in.
Yes, that's right.
There's this whole tradition of barbs and spikes on weapons in Africa and in the tribal areas of India too.
Yeah,
That sometimes you think, oh, this is practical, and other times you think this is just people showing off what they could do with metal.
yeah, absolutely.
I'm never quite sure which area it falls. Oh, we're back in Europe.
Back in Europe, yes.
So the central sword has a particularly good flamberge
Yes,
blade. So this is all Landsknecht
yes,
implements. It's
yes,
interesting to notice that I'm, I'm guessing the right hand double-handed sword, uh, most of the blade is there, but look how long the handle is. It's
yeah, yeah.
huge.
Huge, yes.
And that implies leverage and methods of using. So maybe people use that one differently from the other two, which are more proportionate to each other.
Yes,
And then we have the Karlsberger
yes,
short double-edged sword, which
yes,
I am certain, having only handled one, the 16th
yes,
century one, it was so well balanced for close-in fighting.
yes, absolutely.
You just wouldn't want to be near. And then a Bergenet, a very popular helmet at the time, because if you got too hot, you could just open it out and cool down.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah, these are great examples.
Yeah,
Oh, so you can
you can
see
see.
close up how the fittings fit together. Oh, look at the beautiful workmanship on the quill and on the right hand one,
Yes,
where they've peeled off a piece of metal and then curled it into a spiral and then did it matching on both sides of the quill and both sides of the blade. Really artistic.
yes,
The other one has shorter but more downturned quillions
yes, down. Yeah.
and what appears to be a second set of rings on the ricasso, or that could be just a shadow. I'm not
No,
sure.
no, there are second rings, yes. And one more thing, which is very interesting, always on this, and these two-handed swords, is always they have very relatively small pommels, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, the handguard. Well, sorry, the handle itself is so long it
Yeah,
adds the element of balance. I must say, the only old one I ever got to pick up was remarkably easy to hold out at arm's length
you
with one
can,
hand.
yes,
I mean, you
absolutely.
couldn't use it with one hand that well, but even a person who was as unhealthy and unfit as I am, it just felt balanced.
Well, yes, you're
And
completely right.
there's a lot more art goes into making these than you would think because they look just so brutal and
They do,
massive.
yes. They
They're
look
actually
brutal.
quite elegant.
Yes, they are, yes.
That's a lovely. It's fully etched blade.
Yes, it
Well,
is.
3/4 edge blade or 2/3.
Yes, very nice.
Such a solid little sword, these.
Mhm.
I don't know whether you use them in battle or use them in brawling when you were, because the Lads Cadets were famous for getting into fights when they were on leave.
Yes,
So
exactly.
I don't know whether, it was just a side weapon
Why should
or
you
it
talk
was.
if you can handle all your problems with the sword?
Oh,
I think
yeah.
these guys were like
Yeah.
this.
Well, I'm pretty fierce, and a bit unruly. Uh,
Yeah,
the Virginet, isn't
very,
it nice? Isn't it well
very nice.
made?
Very well made.
That the crest or the coxcomb or whatever on the
Mm.
helmet, that seriously strengthens that part of the helmet. So
Yes,
from blows, but it also acts as a primary deflecting
yes,
tool. So
yes,
someone strikes and you duck, and it comes across, it hits, say, that part of the helmet, and then just slides up and off into the distance because it's not
yes,
catching. And that
yes,
once the main impact has been absorbed by the side of the helmet,
yes,
that crest just redirects it. The
yes.
ones I've seen, sometimes they're solid, but most often they're hollow. I
Yeah,
don't know if that one is, but the ones I've seen have been
yeah.
not. I don't have a huge experience of